gonna cut through and that's something I'd recommend everybody do. I mean, I'd always recommend you kill whatever's red in front of you, simply because, you know, it familiarizes you with your character and your buttons, and you get used to pressing which button at the right time. And it seems like Lichy is quite plain right now, and some classes are obviously going to have more buttons to press than other classes. Warriors, because of the removal of the old heroic strike, really only can press one attack button per global cooldown. I don't remember if heroic strike is off the global cooldown or not. I think it might be. We'll get it at level 14, I think, and then we become essentially a murder machine, an MDK machine. We murder, death, kill a lot once we get heroic strike, because it adds just another ability we can push when we're sort of cooldown locked. As you notice, we tend to spend a bit of time where we don't have a button to press. It's not really that apparent right now, because usually I go Victory Rush, Bloodthirst, and then the monster's dead before I really can hit rend. But it will be apparent, I think. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll just be you know, a series of Victory Rushes and Bloodthirsts. I really like that undead attack animation. For the special animation, it's really nice. I've never gotten over it. I've liked it since day one, since the game was released. I always try to find excuses to play undead females, but considering that I played Alliance for the first like 5 years I played WoW, I never really had one as anything but a kind of a weird PvP character who looked really sweet. Anyway, I'm really happy with how Lichy is developing so far. I do really love the warrior class. It's not only is it my favorite class, but it is the class that I choose to play in almost every context. If I'm walking into a new situation, like the release of a new expansion, even the only time that this became not true was the Lich King. In every other expansion, I've played a warrior as my main character from the start, basically, until I stopped playing. That was true for original EverQuest, Jesus, original World of Warcraft, the Burning Crusade, and Cataclysm. I played a Death Knight in Wrath of the Lich King right up until Big Daddy got smacked with a gigantic nerf stick, and the creativity that was the Death Knight class, the ability to sort of spec into non-regular specs, and totally disappeared. And I didn't like what the class had become. You know, I went from being basically the highest damage person in my guild and the 25-man raiding group I belonged to, you know, somewhere in the middle, and it just wasn't acceptable to me. And it at the end of the day, it actually resulted in me stopping playing WoW, because I was just really disappointed with what they did to my beautiful Big Daddy. He was the character sort of carried a lot of weight with me because I felt really successful at him. I tried to spec him for tanking, but it's just the reality is that if I'm gonna tank, you know, this is the class I'd do it on. You know, right there. That's X-Poo-X and tanking our best protection, our best friends. You know, I really love the warrior. So we're going off to Brill, taking the bat there, because we've actually legitimately marked, quote unquote, marked the bat vendor. And some people might think I'm silly for doing that, but it really bothers me. I mean, you know, this game, the first playthrough of this game is really about exploration, and since this is a trial account, I mean, what better thing to do than to offer your players exploration? But instead, I mean, I can understand it if this is your second or third, fourth, maybe even fifth character, it makes sense, but not if it's your first. And this is my first character on the account, so that kind of bothers me. I mean, it's a minor gripe, you know. It's a minor gripe, but it is definitely one I would levy. So we land in Brill. We're gonna go talk to the executor here. and he used to have, back before Cataclysm came out, this guy used to have like 18 quests for you or something like that. So it looks like that's gonna be it. Yep. So I'm gonna go talk to the warrior trainer who's right here.
I am forsaken.
His name is Astildemo. Anyway, whatever his name is. So we get Thunderclap, Defensive Stance, Parry, and Taunt. And it's going to explain here what combat stances are. I'm not interested. Trust me. I spent 3/4 of my World of Warcraft life in defensive stance. If anybody knows what defensive stance means, it's me. I'll put Thunderclap on my bar just to show you what it looks like, because it's very, very fun to play with. And, you know, it'll give me something to do with my extra rage. And I guess it could be relevant. I can't see that using Thunderclap over... Oh, going the wrong way.
Speak
Hey,
quickly.
Florence. I can't see that using, you know, Thunderclap over just a Rend or Thunderclap over just another Bloodthirst would be very good. But it could be. You never know. So you can see as you level up, monsters which used to be quite capable become essentially insignificant. This guy has grayed out, which means if we kill him, we get no experience. For those South Park fans out there, I'm gonna neckbeard all over you, but in the South Park World of Warcraft episode, they were like, farming 1,000 billions of boars, and actually you can't do that. But I mean, it's South Park, I don't expect them to to know. Blam! That's Thunderclap. I don't expect them to know actually how WoW works. I'm sure they just made it because it was good comedy. Anyway, I'm not trying to neckbeard. It's not like they made Superman fight Donatello or anything like that. I read a funny neckbeard comic about that. I think it was from three-word phrase, but I'm not 100% sure. So we're running down the side of the ruins of Lordaeron into this new area, Silverpine Forest, and this is how like World of Warcraft goes. This is something that they have done since day one, which is they'll give you an area, you'll be done in it, you'll have fully explored it. We missed a little bit here, and I'm not sure if there's any reason to go there anymore. There used to be. You can see the corner of Scarlet Monastery, which is a dungeon here. No, we didn't explore it. You can see it up in the corner. But once you've done this area, essentially once you've explored it and viewed all this area has to view, you'll progress into a new area, which you can see on the map. Like, we were in this zone, now we're going to be in this zone. The Worgen, the Wolfmen, the werewolf guys, they start right here. This is their starting area. And I think their city, but I never finished that quest line, which seems really strange because I really like the Worgen. I think they're probably my favorite race. Wow. I just didn't get around to it before I rage quit and decided not to play anymore. So we got some of the some apothecary guys toting a nice, disgustingly big green bubble, and some new bears, ferocious grizzlies, which will probably be quite difficult. Yeah, not really. Damn. I think once they've finished sleeping, they turn into Worgen, but not 100% sure. Pretty sure. We won't let them get that far though. I don't want them turning into wolves. Wolfmen. I'm using Thunderclap instead of Rend right now because Thunderclap does oh god, I wish I had the old one back. Alright, well, fine. Disappear. Shut up about it. I don't know what that was about. So we have some Valkyr. Here we have Grand Executive Mortis. Oh, hey, look.
Time for games.
The Banshee Queen.
We are the Forsaken.
Who
we
is
will slaughter anyone who stands in our way.
the leader of the...
What joy is there in this curse?
The leader of the undead.
What are we if not slaves to this torment?
She got kind of a neat voice. Any Warcraft 3
Where
fans will
is
know
that
who Lady
overheaded
Sylvanas
buffoon?
Windrunner is. She was a big part of the Frozen Throne, I believe.
Ah,
Oh, we're waiting for
speak of the
Garrosh. Yeah,
devil.
this is a sweet quest.
This better be in Scream's eyes, or you know how I detest this place and its foul stench. Why have you called for me? And more importantly, what are those scourge fiends doing here?
War Chief, so glad you could make it. With the death of the Lich King, many of the more intelligent Scourge became unemployed. Those fiends, as you so delicately put it, are called Valkyr. They are under my command now, and they are part of the reason that I asked to see you.
Get on with it, Sylvanas!
Very well, War Chief. I have solved the plight of the Forsaken. As a race, we Forsaken are unable to procreate. With the aid of the Valkyr, we are now able to take the corpses of the fallen and create new Forsaken. Agatha, show the War Chief.
You have done here, Sylvanas. It goes against the laws of nature. Disgusting is the only word I have to describe it.
War Chief, without these new Forsaken, my people would die out. Our hold upon Gilneas and Northern Lordaeron would crumble.
Have you given any thought to what this means, Sylvanas? What difference is there between you and the Lich King now?
Isn't it obvious, War Chief? I serve the Horde.
Watch your clever mouth, bitch. Chromosh, you stay behind and make sure the Banshee Queen is well guarded. I will be expecting a full report when next we meet. Remember, Sylvanas, eventually we all have to stand before our Maker and face judgment. Your day may come sooner than others.
Doesn't matter how many times I see this little interaction between Hellscream and Sylvanas, it just gives me shivers. I absolutely love the flavor they've infused in this
We
zone,
are the
discussing
Forsaken. We will slaughter anyone
how
who
Agatha
stands
can
in
create
our way.
new Forsaken and the sort of the repertoire between Sylvanas and Garrosh is just awesome. Garrosh actually, I think, believe it or not, I think he usurped Thrall. For any Warcraft fans out there who sort of have followed the Warcraft 3 storyline, and Thrall ended up, I think he's controlling the Maelstrom, this storm in the middle of the worlds. And I'm not 100% sure what happened with that, but I can tell you one thing: this fucking scripted event is awesome. I really like it. So hopefully the All Hallows Eve events are all gone, and we can just get quests for the zone. But I have a feeling they're not. Did we get a? Oh, okay, yeah, our bag got placed automatically. Okay, I need 6 clean guts. Guts. And
What is it?
usually when you see apothecary in a name, it means that the undead are up to no good. As anybody who's played through the Lich King will tell you. These scripted events, like the one you just saw, and the events with Liana, I think her name was, or Lillian, sorry, are new to Cataclysm. None of this was here before then. All of this was very plain, and sort of really boring. And
I have no time for games.
the only place you could find Sylvanas was the Undercity. She existed